Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? I'm Conra and this is the Trigun from X-raypad. So we'll just hop straight into it. The Trigun is not a speed pad, it is a control pad. It's made from CORDURA fabric. It has a lot of dynamic friction, very little initial friction. What does that mean? Dynamic friction is when you're moving. Initial friction is when you start, so it's easy to get the mouse started, and while it's moving you're going to feel it tugging back. This is, it's personal preference, personally, but I don't mind it. I prefer to not have a lot of dynamic friction, but it is very helpful in games like Valorant, you know, tac shooters and stuff. So, you know, if that's what you're looking for, a really quality control pad with a lot of dynamic friction, this one would be the pad for you. Because everything about this pad is freaking fabulous. It's very smooth, and it has a good stopping power, and it's very consistent. It's not affected by heat, or cold, or humidity, or lack of humidity. It seems to be performing pretty much perfectly in any, like, situation. For the, I've only tested it for a little bit, so I can't, like, perfectly, like, guarantee that, but as someone who lives somewhere where it's very hot and very humid, and very often is bouncing between miserable status in my apartment and, air-conditioned heaven, both of them are fine. I don't notice any differences with the pad. The pad does not hold heat, so it's comfortable to keep your hands on for a long time. It repels water and stuff like that, but you probably already know that. That's not what you want to hear. You want to hear how it performs and how, like, he's working. So, what exactly did I notice when I was playing Kovacs? Well, let me say. A lot of the time with slower pads, while you're tracking, you will, like, kind of stutter with your hand. And with this pad, that didn't happen, even though it's so freaking slow. It's not, like, super freaking slow, right? But it is, it's pretty freaking slow. But yeah, it didn't stutter. It didn't get caught on anything. It was weird. Like, I didn't have to force my hand to stay, like, moving at a constant pace with a lot of tension in order to, like, maintain that pace without, like, causing the stutters. So this pad, honestly, good for any game. The smoothness is just unbelievable. Like, you can play... it's not a fast pad, right? But I would recommend it for tracking. I would recommend it for anything, honestly. Because the control and the smoothness is just so out of this world. It is literally crazy. I don't know, it's literally crazy, but it's good, right? I don't know, it's really good. I do compare it here to the Esports Tiger Uba and the Equate Plus. I feel like the Equate Plus and the Trigun are like brother and sister. They're very similar, except the Equate Plus has virtually no dynamic friction. Not virtually none, but compared to the Trigun, it has virtually none, but they're very similar in other aspects. The only difference between them, I would say, is the dynamic friction. So if you want something without dynamic friction, you would go with the Equate Plus, and if you want that dynamic friction for, like, I guess the added, like, control sensation, you go with the Trigun. I will say, it's weird to aim with the Trigun for me. Like, I'm so used to not having all this, even with dynamic friction, the pad, like, when you move your mouse, it stops on a dime. Like, there's not much movement. You can't really build momentum, it feels like. The mouse just stops. With the Equate Plus, it has the stopping power, but it doesn't stop instantly. Like, you can build momentum with that. Compared to the Uba, I mean, it's night and day. They're not even close. They're extremely different pads. There's nothing similar about them. The Uba has shit stopping power and basically zero initial friction and dynamic friction. It's a very rough surface and all that. They're completely different, so I don't know why I compared it to that, but, you know, it's another hot pad. People care about it, so don't expect them to be at all similar. I did expect them. I guess that's why I'm comparing them, because when I was looking into the Trigun, I thought it would be kind of like the Uba, but it is nothing like the Uba. It is very different. I would say the Trigun is probably, like, the closest things I can think to it are, like, Aqua Control Plus and the Equate Plus. It's probably closer to the Aqua Control Plus than the Equate Plus, but I feel like if you can decide between, like, and if you want the in-between, you go with the Aqua Control. If you want the more dynamic friction, you go with the Trigun. You want no dynamic friction, for the most part, go with the Equate Plus. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else I would go over. It's consistent, not affected by temperature or humidity or whatever. It's got really good quality. The quality's amazing. stitching's great. It's basically level. It's just so crazy. So yeah, if you're looking into it, 100% recommend buying it. If you've liked what I've said about it, you know, even if you don't, I'd still recommend buying it because it's a really good pad. Anyway, adios.